This time, I know 23 was a challenge. I love walking around and seeing that some of y'all have approached these a couple of different ways. That's fantastic. It's never my way or the highway, as long as what you're doing is mathematically sound and you understand it, and and I can follow your work. All right, number three's answer is 7/9. You had to drop the log. You can move the 4p or the 5p. Doesn't matter. Is everybody okay with that? All right, I don't want to move too quickly. Number four's answer is 2. Number 6 answer is -1/2. So if it's something you're not getting, please don't be ashamed to not raise your hand or to raise your hand. Remember, rule number 2. Is that rule number 2? If you don't understand, ask for help. I guarantee you somebody else in here has the same question. Number 11, -6. Raise your hand if I can work any of them on the front page. I will be happy to.
I got -6, so I wrote it down twice. I don't have to write it down twice.
No, but that's fine. Okay? I don't think it'll get count off. Okay, you're okay. All right, turning over on the back page, number 14 was -2, -7. They both worked because we have squares and we have multiplying by negative numbers. You drop the natural log, you should have gotten n squared plus 9n plus 14. Be careful when you do polysolve because it leaves the last numbers in there. So if the last time you put in the b, it was a double digit, and you type in a 9, you have to delete the second digit or you'll get a wrong answer. So be very careful on that. Calculators are great, but don't rely on them 100%. Use a little common sense. 20, your answer was 6. You had another quadratic. You should have ended up with x squared plus, nope, that's a division. So you had x plus 6 over x equals 2. All right, a lot of people asked questions about this one, so let me just go over it. Trust the process. You're going to hear me say that many times. You have a denominator. You have to multiply to get rid of that denominator. And guys, I'm going to tell you, you're going to start seeing a bunch of processes and steps that may not make sense to you. Trust the process. So now I can move this x over because I'm combining like terms. 2x taking away 1x leaves me x. You're going to get a bunch of things that don't look right, don't make sense. But trust what you know. All right, 23 was the last one that gave people lots of problems because the answer looks very funny. And there are 2 ways to work this, and I will do it both ways. If there's a third, if somebody else did a third way, raise your hand. I'll verify that it was legit. All right, so I have 2 natural logs here. They're being subtracted, so that tells me quotient. I have it in log form now, so I'm going to do a base of e to the first power. So e to the first power is just e. Okay, trust the process. Multiply by your denominator. Multiply by your denominator. With more than one term, I would please try to put it in parentheses or that's going to mess you up. Now, the way that I see it, the way that I saw it to begin with is, I'm going to scroll back up. distribute it. Because see that X is in parentheses, and that's what stumped you, right? You see that and you're like, wait a minute, what am I going to do? The X is in parentheses. So just one of the things that I did, now I don't distribute the E over here. There's that equal sign, so that separates it. Now, here's my X term, my only X term, right? So non-X term goes over to the other side with my other non-X term. Then I'm wanting to get X by itself, so I divide by 3E. Okay? I'm going to brag on Carter a minute. He saw it a different way. I like that. It looks different, but there's nothing wrong with it. He saw this E as being what? What are these things doing? Multiplying. So he said, okay, I'm going to get rid of my E. How did he get rid of his E? He divided. Nothing wrong with that. Not one thing wrong with that. Now, I'll show you where he ran into one little kind of stumped him. So what do I do now? Subtract the 2. He was good right here. Now what? Divide by 3. Now that's what he ended up with, and I'm going to say that that is okay. But 3 could, I really prefer for the 3 to be in each denominator. Okay? All you have to do when you divide by something that's already has a division, technically we don't do fractions within fractions. Okay? So if you have a denominator here, it just goes here and under here. It goes in the denominator with anything else. Okay? So did anybody else? So this one looks slightly different than the other one that we got, the other answer that we got. I can't find my thing anyway. That other answer was 2 minus 2e over 3e. But 2 over 3e minus 2e over 3e is equivalent. Look, 2 over 3e, if I separated that out right, minus 2e over 3e. Is that what Carter got? Yep. Looks slightly different. Perfectly okay. All right, questions? Are we okay? Question? You didn't get that? Let me look and see what you did. Okay, we're going to get books here in just a minute. All right, is this your answer? Something that looks easier, it's like, okay, it's easier to multiply by 2. A lot of times we have 3x times 2 over 4, multiply by 4. That's what you think, you just multiply by the top number. Should have done that. I mean, you could, no, because they can have to divide. All right, so, guys, now I've got several things to do, so I need your kind of undivided attention. I have deferment forms. How many of y'all are in another duly enrolled class? Raise your hand. HAP, bio, nobody, y'all are really not, okay. All right, what I'm giving you is a deferment form. All of y'all are aware that you get college algebra and college trig for this class. The easiest thing for you to do, Northeast, let me start over, getting ahead of myself. In years past, we would sign you up for college algebra and college trig both in the spring semester. All of your grades would be due in May. I would turn those into Northeast. You get the same grade for college algebra as you got for college trig. Well, what's happening now is Northeast is being audited, and their auditors are saying, wait a minute, you cannot simultaneously take a prerequisite. So you cannot take Biology 1 and Biology 2 in the same semester at college. So you should not be able to take them in the same semester, quote unquote, in high school. So what they're requiring is if you're getting more than one college credit for a class, they're requiring you to sign up for one of them in the fall and one of them in the spring, which I like better personally anyway. So what we're going to do is we're signing up for college algebra in the next couple of weeks. Okay? I need you, and I talked to Allison's mom for a long time this weekend, and she has given me a lot of good insight. Northeast prefers that you defer. And what I mean by defer, it means that you're going to wait and pay this price. If you do not go to Northeast, if you go to Northeast, you will get most or all of this paid for. If you go to Northeast one semester, you pay 75% of it back. If you go to Northeast 2 semesters, you pay half of it back. If you go the full 2 years, it's all free. Okay? But right now, what they're telling me is they want you to defer it. The downside of that is if you defer several classes and at the end of next year when you have graduated and you're trying to get these classes to transfer to State or Ole Miss or UNA or University of Memphis or wherever, Alabama, wherever, you're going to have to pay that lump sum, which could be several $100s at a time. Now, it's still cheaper than paying for college. But if you have deferred, like this class will cost you, what's the cost of this class? $125? I think it's $125 unless they've gone up on it again this year. The cost of these two classes together would be $250. So if you have $250 for this, and you have $250 for ACE Bio, and you have $250 for HAP, you're looking at writing a $750 check. You need to have your grades transferred, okay? And you'll want them transferred because you're going to want to sign up for classes. And they will not let you not sign up for Cal 1 if you haven't shown that you've taken Cal 1. They will not let you not sign up for college algebra unless you've shown that you've taken college algebra. So, if it were me, I'd be planning, because your senior year is going to be hard. You're going to have senior pictures, you're going to have all this stuff going on, homecoming, all this kind of stuff going on. Your parents are going to be dropping tons of money between now and then. Just be planning for it. Okay? Yes, sir.
So, like you said, they were saying you can take biology 1 and 2 in the same semester.
That's right. So if you're in ACE Bio, you will sign up for Biology 1. Okay, now that's last year. That's
So that is
Okay, so.
no. Mm-mm. So all they're doing is they're looking. Northeast is looking from now forward and saying that when they get audited, they cannot have kids in the same semester taking one that's a prereq to the other. Okay. Okay. So I need these signed and back to me as soon as possible. And what we're going to do one day in class is I will get y'all enrolled at Northeast. It does not mean that you will go there after high school. Understand that. You are not obligated to go to Northeast after high school. This is just as if you're sitting at Northeast campus, I'm teaching you, you can go wherever you want to. When you leave, you will just transfer those credits. Okay. So that needs to be done. Yes, sir.
Do you have to do the dual enrollment?
You do not have to. As an engineering major, I started off with Cal 1. You need to look to see if these would help you knock out an elective or two. If they're not going to knock out an elective or two for you, I wouldn't bother. Okay? That's a good question, because you don't want to pay for something you don't have to have. But if where you're going allows you to bring a couple of electives in the math department, you could take them. And the other good thing is y'all get a multiplier for this because it is an ACE class, so you get a 1.05 multiplier and you take your grade with you. So if this was an AP class and you passed the AP exam, you would get a CR, which just means a credit. But if you make an A in this class, guess what you start your college with? An A. Okay? Keep in mind, however, we're on the current CART scale, so a 92 would be a B. Yes, sir.
Last year it was a 10 points.
No, if we stay on the CART scale.
So
Northeast has a 10 point. Because we have multipliers for all of our advanced classes, we stay on our scale.
So like whenever you put grades into the Northeast grade book, is it?
It is a letter grade. I don't care if it's a 99 or a 93. You get an A, and that's all that they see. A, B, C, D. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you about that. There's something else that I need to tell you. But anyway, okay. So I need to have that back. If you defer, you do not bring money. Okay? If you defer, you do not bring money. Okay? And the other thing is, if y'all can make a couple of copies, if you can't, in fact, let's not worry about it. I'll take everybody's up, because what I'm hearing, another thing that your mom said that was a really, really, really good suggestion is Corinth High School does not keep records of what you've paid for and what you've deferred. So I'm going to start, based upon my conversation, I'm going to start keeping a record of either if you bring me a check, I'll take a picture of, not a picture of it, but I'll make a copy of it. And I'll make a copy of your deferment form if you bring that. Okay? So you need to keep a copy, put it in a folder. Just get you a college folder, make sure it's blue, yellow, red, something bright colored. I had one for Emma, it was blue, I can still find it. Everything that pertains to her college, I'm putting in there. Okay? So if you go to Northeast in a year and you say, or a year and a half, and you say, hey, and they go, well, wait a minute, you didn't pay for this, you can say, oh, yes, I did, here's a copy of my check. Or, no, I didn't, because I have a deferment form. So I'm going to make 2 more copies. One's going to Northeast, I'm keeping one, and then you need to keep one at the house. Put it somewhere where you can keep up with it. Okay? So any questions so far about that? Okay, I know I'm forgetting something.
You said something about books.
Yeah, I'm fixing to give those back, but there was something else. Okay. Term is fall 2018. Okay, fall 2018. Now, all right, we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to give back the books. And we'll give back your summer work. I'm going to give back the answers. I've got lots of stuff to do. Let me do the summer work and the answers first. Yes. Don't worry about that. You have not been assigned one yet.
High school graduation day is June 8th, 2020.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Don't worry about it. Spring 2020, just June 2021. Okay.
I use the restroom.
Yes, sign out for me, please. And when I call you up, you're coming to summer work. Andrew, and pick up, here is the key.
We're all gonna be like happy, but I'm gonna like crap here. I'm done. It's gonna be your father's expenses under your one more point.
You know what's Preston house?
You're gonna get
I was
Preston's
thinking about
house.
house now.
Well, how do you want when he has to get you your mother and dad? You're gonna get Preston's house, okay? With his dad getting all the his dad James recommended. And then you still but then you're still if I had a place like y'all's, I'd never
Take it to a day.
I think our law spends very good on it.
We've got
I know that
Uncle has
one building.
And we got a farmhouse. And we got my cousin's apartment.
Hey, knowing this would, well, we get a good rich dog, too. Dude, we get a really nice. So, we get a good
No, if you sign that, you bring no money.
Some of us are less fortunate than you.
Like, who? Yep, I don't see it. I can try to cross back.
Because I'm right up here, but you know the ones
No money. Oh, no, if you do get it signed, don't bring money. You do need to bring money.
So, how would you do that?
That is the form to say I'm not paying. Oh.
So, how many?
So if you bring me the form to say I'm not paying, you don't bring me money.
What?
Right. I'm deferring. To defer means to put off.
You're so good.
Okay. All right. Apparently my desktop's decided to slow, so I'm gonna do it from here. I'll put them on my desk because I'll need them next period. Oh, let me tell you this too, and not that I have, I think that this will be a problem. If you go over 7 absences in my class that are not school related, I don't care if they're excused, unexcused. If you go over 7 absences, you will